boy. Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and So this is like an intervention, right? This is the part where you guys all sit in a circle and tell me how I'm killing myself by constantly believing in the Bengals only to get hurt over and over and over and over and over and over and... So if you haven't heard, Joe Burrow's out for the season after tearing a ligament in his wrist. It's his second season-ending injury in 4 years, and so yeah, that's how my week's going. So I actually made a whole video about this after the Thursday night game, reacting and putting together an argument as to why I don't think the Bengals season's over just because we lost to the Ravens and maybe Joe Burrow's going to be out a couple weeks. Like, I literally spent my whole Friday morning putting together that video, guys, and I had it ready to go, and I had to pull it an hour before it went live because that is when they chose to announce that he was out for the season. Like, are you kidding me? That's the worst possible timing. So anyway, I apologize for not showing my face the last couple of days, even though it would have been like the ideal time for me to actually do that. But it's legitimately because I'm insanely busy and got sandbag, and, you know, not entirely because I was sulking, you know, maybe a little. But anyway, I pulled some clips from that video that I did put out on Friday, or I was gonna put out on Friday, to show you guys just how blindsided I was by this news that now he's done for the whole year, right? But before we get into that, I'd just like to ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. It really helps my channel grow and helps you know when all of my content comes out. So, here is what I was thinking on Friday. Shit. So, is the season over? Well, the short answer is no, it's not. The long answer is there's still 7 games left to play. Frankly, I think they can make it to the wild card if they finish 10-7 in a weird year for the AFC. That would require winning 5 of their remaining games, but honestly, I don't see why they can't do that. In all the panic and depression from last night, don't forget that the Bengals had just won 5 of their previous 6 games before losing to the Texans by a field goal. So this is still a talented football team. They just need to get their heads out of their asses in some aspects. The good news is they're 5-5, and they can probably make a wild card berth if they finish 10-7. They'll need to finish strong, but if they keep their heads above water until Joe Burrow gets back, then I don't believe there's any reason to think that they can't heat up down the stretch. Ultimately, though, it all depends on how long it takes Joe Burrow to come back. Can they get a few wins with Jake Browning? You definitely don't feel great about it after what we saw on Thursday, but... Oh, really? You don't say? That's a fucking understatement, buddy. But there were some flashes of competent offense there. What do you think that Jake Browning, or dare I say, A.J. McCarron, can accomplish with this team while Joe Burrow heals? I believe in you, Jake Browning, partially because I have no choice. But here's me being supportive now, so go beat the Steelers. Alright, so let's just be frank. Here's the situation. Turns out Joe Burrow had a ligament tear in his wrist, and it was a non-contact injury, but obviously you're going to have all the offensive line truthers out here blaming Joe Burrow's admittedly concerning injury history exclusively on the offensive line and, like, you know, the recklessness of the front office and everything like that, right? Like, but the problem is I don't see too many Bengals fans willing to talk about the fact that Joe Burrow's play style is literally, like, he designed his play style literally to make him better the more he gets hit. But, you know, I'm honestly not here to argue with y'all right now. It sucks. It just sucks, and it sucks. And that's just all there is to it. If there is good news, though, it's from the fact that it was his wrist that knocked him out for the rest of the year, not his knee. So this isn't like some sort of recurring injury problem. And from what I understand, the type of injury that it is one that's expected to heal 100% after you have surgery. So there shouldn't be any recurring issues related to this going forward. Next year, he should be back 100% from the start of the season, and that's what I'm reading. That's not just, you know, me being hopeful, and that's what I'm honestly reading from everything I'm seeing about it. And that's That's all well and great. You know, that is some good news, honestly. But I cannot tell you how much of a letdown that it is for this to happen. You know, I mean, obviously for the Bengals, but also for us Bengals fans, right? This was the last season where Joe Burrow's contract was going to be under $20 million, man. Now, in fairness, you know, it's only going to be $29 million next year before it really kind of starts taking off the following year, and it's going to be like $50 million cap hit every single year. But, I mean, you still got to pay guys like DJ Reader, Tyler Boyd. You know, Cheeto and T probably aren't going to be back next year, I would have to imagine. And Jamar Chase, you know? So, I mean, they're going to have to rely a lot more on the draft going forward. So, you lose the benefit of having a cheap quarterback to work with. You know what, though? Super Bowl is in New Orleans in 2024, so I'm just saying, if any NFL script writers are listening, how great of a story would that be for Joe to come all the way back and win the Super Bowl in the city where it all started? I'm just saying, think about it. Think about it. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I imagine a lot of you are panicking right now, and I get it. I really am having trouble not doing that myself. I'm curious to see, though, if this team can rally together and prove that they're not just a bunch of dudes who are just average, elevated by, you know, the insane talent that is Joe Burrow. They sure have not looked like it the past 2 weeks, though. But, you know, Jake Browning, let's see what you're made of, man. Everything is still on the table. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, so why can't Jake Browning with the Bengals, man? Like, I know, I'm joking, and I'm coping, and, you know, y'all can accuse me of that, and you're absolutely right now. But it's not like it hasn't happened before. So, that's all I gotta say. Until then, y'all can always catch more of what I do at KylePhelps92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/ThePhelps, Butt Fumble Sports, the Battle of Ohio podcast, and right here if you subscribe. So no, the season's not over. You don't think so? Boy, you're in for a rough night. Stop overreacting. I'll leave y'all, as always. Alright, I can get behind this one. At the end of the day, I'm still ride or die, baby, so I will leave y'all, as always, with a hoo-day!